Hi guys, welcome back to the Player YouTube channel. You can probably sense I'm a little bit excited today, and the reason is we're at Farnborough Airport, if you haven't already guessed, and we're here to see a fantastic private jet. Yes, we're going to be taking a look around the Bombardier Global 7500. It's one of the longest range private jets in existence today, and we're going to get the exclusive access onto that aircraft thanks to a great company called Vistajet. I'm going to tell you all about them later on. Enough said, let's go and have a look. Okay guys, here is a quick whiz round of the Global 7500. Right at the very back here you have a private bathroom with a sink, and you've got your doobry Watsits in there that you do. And here, would you believe, is a lovely double bed. Can you believe that? Look at that, double bed, got slippers here already. I know exactly what I'd be doing if I jumped on this plane. It'd be robe on, slippers on, dressing gown, you know, walking around, loving it. Wardrobe here, you've got all your little bits here, all your personal little bits and pieces. Got a seat here in case you want to have a chat with someone. Anyway, let's head back. We'll keep walking back here. This is your sort of private lounge area. We've got a lovely TV here as well, so you can sit here, enjoy a movie. You know, you don't have to sit bolt upright. This all swings out and moves. If we had a bit more time, I'd show you that as well. So you've got sort of like two separate cabiny bits here that you can keep very private for just you and obviously your partner or whoever you're flying with. We'll keep going back because I want to show you where your guests can now sit. So we've got some lovely areas here, which is really nicely spaced out. The whole thing that I love about this actual aircraft is the fact that it's so spacious. Look at the height that you get on this. It's just a brilliant aircraft to walk around. And I love the big windows as well. So you get a great view out. You don't feel like don't feel too claustrophobic. And again, more seats back here. All in all, what a fantastic area just to spend your time, especially on a long range jet, because you are going to be spending quite a lot of time up here. So here we are guys, we're actually on board the Global 7500, and I'm with a gentleman here whose name is Ian Moore. And Ian Moore is the Chief Commercial Officer, is that correct?
That's correct.
Of Vistajet, who own this jet.
Yep, correct.
So just going to have a quick couple of questions with Ian because I'm very interested in the whole brand itself, the Vistajet brand. What is the difference between Vistajet and other private jet suppliers, basically?
Well, first of all, we're truly global.
Yes.
We have, near enough to 80 aircraft spread all around the world.
Right.
And when I say we're global, we have offices and aircraft physically located in all regions around the world.
So you actually own these?
Correct. We own all our aircraft. All our aircraft are identical in the same look and feel.
Yeah.
We have different aircraft categories, but the same look and feel. So you know what you're going to get, whether you're in Beijing, whether you're in Dubai, or whether you're in London.
So this same sort of decor in
Correct.
here?
Yep, same look and feel. And all our aircraft are interchangeable. So whatever aircraft you're in, you know exactly what you're going to get when you turn up to the airport.
Yeah, yeah.
And our brand has been situated, and our biggest USP is obviously being global, but also on top of that, because we own all of our aircraft, we're able to tailor not just the experience, but also the financial program to exactly what the customer wants, because it's our aircraft to sell.
Yeah.
And that is very unique. No one else has that.
I was going to say, yeah, owning your own aircraft, I mean, that's quite a feat in itself, because these aren't cheap.
They're not, and also you need to utilise them. I mean, they're a fixed asset. A lot of the cost in this industry is fixed, so therefore the more you fly, the better. The average aircraft owner flies an aircraft between 250 and 300 hours per year.
It's quite a lot, though.
It is quite a lot, but these aircraft need to be flying 1,000, 1,500 to make financial sense.
1,000 hours a year?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. When you look at the cost of what an aircraft like this would be, and the impact of that on a per hour rate, obviously the more hours you do, because most of the costs are fixed, brings the rate down. So to make financial sense for either an individual owner or an operator, you need to fly these aircraft as much as you possibly can.
And tell me, what's so special about the Global 7500? What's the difference in this aircraft and, say, a Learjet, for example?
For sure. Well, I mean...
Apart from size, obviously.
Yeah, well, I mean, size matters, right? I mean, that's the thing. And there's a lot of ramp envy with an aircraft of this size. But, first and foremost, the range of this aircraft, it's 7,700 nautical miles, doing, 15, 16-hour flights, like LA to Hong Kong, for example.
So you could fly non-stop from LA to Hong Kong.
Correct.
In this jet.
Correct. Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely, and it's set up for that particular type of flight. So first of all, connects cities straight away, whereas previously other aircraft in its subcategory were always doing fuel stops. So you can save 2 to 3 hours just being able to go
come down,
refuel, etc., etc. So if time matters, then this is a perfect aircraft for you.
Fantastic.
But then if you look at the actual size of the aircraft, not only is the range amazing, and it has the fastest speed. I think it did New York to LA in 3 hours and 54 minutes, for example. So its speed is amazing. But on top of that, it's the extra cabin. It has a 4 layout cabin. So, for example, you'll see in the back there, you'll have a permanent bed.
I saw the bed back there,
exactly, which is great. And then you have the entertainment system here. Then you have the club settings, and you have the crew area as well. So this aircraft not only can do the range that's required, up to 15, 16 hours, but it's set up so you can enjoy it. It's not great that you do the range, but you kind of have the opportunity to experience a little bit of space between you and your party.
Yeah.
But also have the ability to have the crew to get the rest to be able to do the flight safely.
I was going to say, because on that sort of distance you're travelling, the crew obviously need to swap.
Correct. Yeah, you either need an augmented crew or a second set of crew, depending on the length of the flight that you're doing. So absolutely, and safety is paramount to us.
And putting that in real terms, I believe this can travel at 600 miles per hour. Is that about right?
Miles. Yeah, you confused me. I'm all over the place. It's near enough to 950 kilometres per hour. So
it's around 600 mile an hour, which is very fast for a jet of this size.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good thing is, obviously, because of the range, it can get to that speed. Because it's not doing a 1 or 2 hour leg, it's doing a 12, 14 hour leg, and that's where it makes more sense.
And will it fly at the normal operating height of a commercial jet?
Well, it can go above that. I mean, its altitude maximum ceiling is 51,000 feet.
51,000.
So, and therefore can get above the rough weather, which is probably the most important thing. As you know, most commercial airlines 35 to 40,000.
I was going to say,
So unfortunately, when they're battling the weather, you can get above it. And then you have the sort of precision engineered wings that make sure this is the most stable flight. And also as GE Passport engines, which means that the noise reduction inside the cabin is significantly lower than anything else in its class.
It has 2 engines, doesn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So the cabin experience, when you take into account as I said, the wing design, the engines, making sure it's quiet, then you have a lower altitude here, so roughly a 4,500 foot altitude inside the cabin when you're flying.
That means over a longer period of time you don't suffer so much.
Correct, you don't so as tired. I mean, we've all flown commercially before and thought, why am I tired? I sat down for 8 hours. Well, that's because of the cabin pressure that you've had. So when and the older you get, the more it impacts you. So a Global 7,500.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly. So when you add the 7,500 flight lengths, then you have the altitude, and then you take into account the unique lighting system here as well for things like jet lag, you're landing fresh. And a lot of our clients today who've taken this aircraft are literally utilising them as night hotels.
Wow.
So they're during the day, and then they're sleeping all the way through the evening and night, and they arrive at the next continent, next business plan, do it again and again and again. And that is what a $70 to $75 million aircraft is made for, right? It's to make sure it's the time machine.
Is that the actual cost of one of these?
That's the acquisition cost of one of these.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you go into pilots and running costs and whatever it is. But
of course.
But it's a magnificent aircraft. It's unique.
It is,
It's not for everyone, but it's an aircraft that really scratches an itch in the marketplace, which was that ultra long range flying. But at the same time, the ability to do it with space. Because once you're done,
that's another thing I noticed. It's very high.
Yeah, it's 6'3" cabin.
It's incredible.
In an 8 foot width. Again, I've been lucky enough to fly in different other aircraft types before. And what makes this unique is obviously when you get into a 10 or 12 hour leg, any tube starts to feel smaller. And any family member may become annoying after that point, for example, right? So the ability to have that space, the width, the height, the whole thing about this aircraft, it's absolutely engineered to do the 12 to 14 hour, 15 hour legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Other aircraft may be able to do that flight length, but not as comfortable. Not as comfortable. And not for the purpose of what it's there for, which is really to create time and create energy, and that all the combinations I mentioned earlier about altitude, etc., mean that you literally bounce off the aircraft, which is important.
Fantastic. Yeah. And of course, you can bring your pets on here, your kids.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We have our cabin team are trained in the British Butler Institute to ensure you get the best service. WSET level 2 if you want to have wine on board.
Yep.
We have a Nolan Nannies training as well, which means our team know how to deal with our younger flyers. We also have a program called the Vistajet program, which is for our four-legged customers we have on board. Including things like calming down a nervous flyer if it's a four-legged or two-legged, depending. So ultimately, our job is to make sure that this cabin experience is a home away from home. And a lot of our clients, if not all of our clients, have this type of experience on the ground. So we wanted to be the only company in the world that could replicate that for you in the air. And we need to have all bases covered, and that's why we have kids, pets, we have the chairman's menu for food as well. We deal with a lot of Michelin-starred restaurants. So looking after your stomach, looking after your wallet, and looking after your time, they're all the three parts that sort of drive that business model.
And I know time is of the essence today, so we're going to have to cut this a little bit short because I would love to carry on chatting to you and all about all the little experiences. But I know we're getting nodded that we need to wrap this up fairly quickly, which is a shame, guys, because Ian's a very, very interesting gentleman. Thank you so much for your time. And thanks for allowing the player and our cameras to come and have a look at your wonderful, Global 7500.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Vistajet, everybody.
Cheers. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ian. There you go, guys. We'll catch up with you in a minute with a little final roundup on this aircraft. So there you have it, guys. That was the Global 7500 long-range private jet, and what an incredible piece of kit that was. I hope you enjoyed taking a look around. I definitely did. Thanks to the Vistajet team who've looked after us today, and thanks to Farnborough Airport who've hosted us throughout our stay here. It's just been an incredible experience. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment, and I'll catch you next week.